Sometimes you have seasons in Football Manager that go down to the wire, and other times it feels like a foregone conclusion at the start of February. Welcome back to Lewis FC. We have 12 games left of the league season. Today's opening game is against Maldon and Tiptree. If we win it, we go 19 points clear at the top, and then the plan becomes to end the season today. We will have our youth intake also dropping today. Based on this preview, don't expect a great deal. It does not look like it's going to be a replication of last season. And well, speaking of last season's intakes, one player who I picked up a load last year was Chris Watson. He has now picked up defensive midfielder as a position. He has improved a lot as well. And at the end of January, we were actually fending off some interest from Bolton Wanderers for him, which was an interesting thing, really, because I thought Michael King would be the first player of our intake that really got some real interest in him. But apparently the scouts are seeing something in Chris Watson. And to be fair, when you look at his development, can you really blame them? The 16-year-old is really, really good. Now, whether or not he's a really, really good centre-back is still up for debate. That is where we've played him, of course, all of this season. Since you were last here, a small miracle did occur. No, I didn't get more wage budget, but we did get an increase to our transfer budget that I then immediately put in the wages and went out and made a signing with. And it's a man who's only played 2 games for us so far in Regan Clayton. Of course, we have Foxwell who can play at left back. He was the first signing we ever made when we arrived at the club. He's not the best left back in the world anymore. And Regan Clayton was available with 14 acceleration and 14 pace at this level. He is great. 12 off the ball is amazing. Good work rate as well. Shame about the stamina. He is definitely more of an offensive wing back, but given the system that we play, I think he suits it very nicely. And actually, as a reaction to him coming into the club, I've switched him up on the left-hand side to be an advanced wing-back as well. It's something we've used with Bernal. It's made him arguably the best player in the team in terms of his production numbers. And naturally, I would kind of like a version of Bernal out on the other side of the pitch. I hope you guys did manage to catch yesterday's episode where, of course, we did play in the FA Cup second round since that disappointment and the #United game we ended things with. 4 games played, 4 wins. Cray Wanderers we beat 1-0. Against Cray Valley Paper Mills, we were taking on, well, the team with the best goal scorer in the league. Ibia Kambi is, well, a monster. 22 goals to his name. And unfortunately, we couldn't keep him quiet in this game. Was a slow burn this game, but eventually Shea Hutchinson got in the end of a Michael King ball to give us the lead in the 81st minute. We held the lead for 2 minutes before Akambi, as I already mentioned, got on the score sheet. From there, though, in the dying embers of the game, Packham turned provider. Shea Hutchinson scoring in the 92nd minute, doubling his tally. He is one of the few players in the team I've not offered a contract for next year to. Maybe he's trying to make a late bid for a renewed contract. 2 goals in this game, takes his tally in the league to 6 for the year. It's not amazing. He is starting to pick up that right attacking mid position, though, that I have been training and playing him in for most of this season. After that, back-to-back wins and back-to-back clean sheets. The pick of the goals across these was against Wingate and Finchley, and it was Michael King's goal in the 86th minute. Another absolute banger for the forward, in off the crossbar. I feel like that's becoming his signature finish at this point. But yes, 2 rather convincing results. He did also score against Burgess Hill. Admittedly, that was the only goal in that game as we won 1-0. Already showed the league table at the top of things, but to be honest, even if we lose this game today, we are going to be 13 points clear. It's hard to look beyond us. We have the fewest goals conceded in the league, we have the most goals scored for, and we do just find ourselves in a really convincing position. As for Maldon and Tiptree, of course, their wage budget is 10 times higher than ours. The fact they're in second is almost shameful in many ways. They have got some good players in their ranks. Reece Bennett is the pick of the bunch. The 23-year-old is an absolutely insane centre-back for this level. They're paying him £6,000 a week. And if you're a Manchester United fan thinking, is this the Reece Bennett? Yes, it is. Yes. He is far too good, isn't he? Maldon and Tiptree's top goal scorer, by the way, is just Lewis. Remember Lewis? He scored against us before. He's a decent striker. I can't help but feel like if they found someone like Bennett of the similar kind of quality, but in striker, they probably would have won the league this year with that kind of player. Because I feel like a centre-back doesn't win you games. A better striker maybe would have won them a few more games. Anyway, you know what? Who am I to backseat manage? We are hopefully going to extend our lead to 19 points here if they do win. It's not completely done and dusted. Like I mentioned, Clayton is going to make his live commentary debut. The rest of the team is at absolute full strength. King's playing, Bassett's playing. Hutchinson, as I mentioned, has kind of dislodged Bennett for that right attacking mid position, at least for now. And one thing I did forget to mention, Sam Anderson, the man we had in on loan, he got recalled from his loan by Luton because I wasn't using him enough. So he is unavailable today. What it does mean is Billy Clark is recalled to the bench. A man who I've actively avoided using this year. I actually tried to sell him in January. Nobody wanted him. I really wanted him to have a great redemption season. It's just not happened. Okay, let's see how we get on. Hutchinson in the team. Bennett, to be fair, can perhaps feel a little hard done by to be dropped, but I'm just picking purely based off recent form. We're at home for this game. We look good when you look at the league table. If we win this, I really feel like it's done and dusted. It's raining, it's pouring. Maldon and Tiptree are bloody boring, and I'm hoping we're going to make it a double league victory over them today. Hutchinson takes down the ball really nicely here, looking to bring it forward. The number 11 bursting through the middle, shoots! And he almost immediately justified his inclusion. It's a good early start for us, ratcheting up the pressure. We've now got a corner. Gibbard is going to be the man looking to get it towards the near post. It's headed away. King is going to look to keep the attack alive. Gibbard cutting inside on his right foot. I don't know if that deflected. I feel like the keeper dodged the ball. King has been awarded an assist for this goal. I feel like that is rather generous. Also, that was close to being offside. I didn't get a great look at it. Looking at things there, I think the keeper was just caught off-sighted. I would really like to see Clayton at left wing-back have a great game. He's been solid in his first 2 matches despite not getting an assist. And I do feel like as an advanced wing-back, just with his, well, raw physicality when it comes to his pace, he should be great. He dinks the ball in here for Pierre. That is a sensational pass. And I don't know why he shot from that angle. It's hit the post and gone out. Have to say, it's been a dominant display so far in this game. We are showing we are a cut above even the second best team in the league. Clayton, I've bigged him up. I do rate him at left back, even though he's not the best defensively. That is a crazy ball in. Oh my word, it might be the goal of the season. It's from wing back to wing back. It's 2-0. Clayton got some crazy whip on this ball to the back post. And then it's Bernal who I think catches it on the half volley as it bounces and just spanks it into the top corner. There's not many players who, if they got sent off in the biggest game of the season, I'd kind of say by the end of things, look, I forgive you for it because you've been quite good. I think Bernal is kind of verging into that territory where he has just been so good at right wing back. I do forgive him. First half coming to a close here. Maldon and Tiptree have stepped it up a little bit, but it has come at the point of the game where they are already 2 goals down. There is a big pressure on them now to attack us more, with, of course, how we play with a balanced mentality, lots of players behind the ball. I think it's going to open up those opportunities to try and unlock them on the counter-attack. Dunn, bringing it forward. If they score immediately, I'm going to look like a mug. Clayton head down to touch. And I just want a nice, relaxing second half now. Might not be what we get, though, because this highlight has not ended. Dabo to Egbury. Back to Egbury. Options in the middle. Put back post. Dunn was under it. Headed his way as far as Flynn. He is now going to look to keep it alive. Denton. Flynn. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross. Whatever it was not very good. And now we are going to come surging forward. Shea Hutchinson, a man in form. The number 11 lays it back to Gibbard. Plenty of players committed to this attack. Watson, of course, stepping up into the midfield. Great little pass by him. King's through ball, not the greatest, but they are just giving us back possession very generously here. Hutchinson and Bernal with a little 1-2. Could the right back assist the left back? How satisfying would that be if they kind of did a role reversal? Okay, you know what? Never mind. Is that more satisfying or less satisfying? It's such an anticlimactic goal. It's an own goal. It's Flynn. And Bernal's running away as if he's scored that. He is claiming all the credit in the world. Gibbard gave it back to him. You think, cross it, you dingus, to be fair. He did cross it. In off Flynn's shins. I'll be honest, going into this year, I did think we'd be up there just based off the additions we made. Our form in the second half of last season had us in 6th place, and I felt like with a summer, we should only get better. The level of dominance we've shown this season is kind of surprising to me. I feel like, obviously, we've made some good additions. I look at Gibbard as a massive addition. Pierre, when he joined us mid-season, has kind of helped us just extend, I guess, the advantage that we already had. But the nature of some of the results we've had this year has been really good. I thought they were going to score there and really take the shine off things. Going to bring in Bennett on the left. I'm going to bring in Jane through the middle. And elsewhere, I am bringing Packham in at left wing back. Clayton is still getting up to full fitness, but a great performance by the left back on his live com debut today. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game. It has fizzled out into nothing, having seen that third goal fly in. But you know what? I'm not going to complain one little bit. I feel like that performance there really surmises this season. One thing I'm a little bit aware of is this next jump up up to kind of the Enterprise National North and South is a big step up. Obviously, we are likely to go into the South Regional League, barring the biggest bottles of all bottles here. At that point, we are going to start to encounter a few more semi-pro teams, and especially the step up after that to the National League. That is a tier of English football that is getting more and more professional, and that marks a significant jump up in quality. Anyway, last year our youth intake came through in April, so I suspect that is when I'm going to join you in a moment to express my disappointment at the fact our intake wasn't as good this year. Handful of games to play between now and then. I'm going to do them. Hopefully we're extending our league at the top, and following on from that, we are going to wrap things up for the season. Okay, folks, it's early April, and I can confirm we are the Isthmian Premier champions. We secured the title with a win against Croydon Athletic, wrapping up the title before March. Yeah, the last game in February, we hoisted the trophy following a king goal, or rather, I would say we hoisted the trophy, except there was no actual cutscene. And there's still not been a cutscene of us lifting the trophy. But we are now promoted. The budgets have been set for the upcoming season as well, a really healthy amount of money given. I am probably going to shift most of the transfer budget into the wage budget, and obviously it's now over a month since that's all happened, and I'm already starting to spend some money. In fact, right now, I have got 3 transfers ongoing. 2 are already confirmed, a load of youngsters that we've snapped up off the back of that inbox item I talked about last season. All the big boys are releasing young players, and we've signed a couple. First player we picked up is Eugene Nyarko, signed from Bournemouth. Loads of pace, decent acceleration, really good determination, and not bad finishing either. He is a good little striker. At 18, he's coming in to be more of a backup player. And he is not the only striker we have signed. Chukwuemeka Obi has signed for us. The Danish youngster, released by West Ham, or about to be released by West Ham. I believe he was at Arsenal's academy before West Ham's. Yeah, indeed he was. He is an interesting striker. He's not your typical fast striker with 4 pace, but he's got 13 jumping reach, 13 heading, and, well, for old school Park to Prem viewers, he's got a bit of the Stephen Gold about him. Look how good this man is. He can finish, he can head, and he is only 17, which is absolutely wild. He is an unreal pickup. 15 off the ball is mad. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere quickly off the ball, but maybe he can use his intelligence as a striker. And the last player isn't quite confirmed yet, but it's Toby Akapo. We're signing him from Brighton. I mean, I can show you the contract offer quickly here. £450 a week for this guy. I'll admit it, it's not cheap. He's one of those one-dimensional centre-backs who, if you could ask him to do anything other than defending, he's probably going to have an aneurysm. But he can jump, he can run, he can defend. He is absolutely massive as well, and he's not bad with either foot. I think he'll be a solid little addition to the team. Now, obviously, 2 of those new signings are strikers. I'm already weighing up how we might be able to tinker with things with the new arrivals coming in. I already think that, well, Bassett is going to be leaving us at the end of his contract, and Shea Hutchinson might be as well. Bennett can play as a striker and at centre attacking mid. There's maybe a world where I change up the formation going into next year to suit the new signings that we've managed to pick up. Admittedly, between now and the end of the year, I'm probably going to use it as a bit of an opportunity just to tinker with our tactics. Anyway, the whole reason I came back at this moment in time was for the youth intake, and there's a reason I've not really talked about it yet. Mega underwhelming. Ian Hetherington, perhaps the pick of the bunch. I'll admit it. He is not very good. Yeah, compared to previous youth intakes that we've had, and by previous, I mean the one that we had before, this just isn't nearly as good. I mean, Mohamed Abdi here is considered one of our better strikers. If we just compare him quickly with Michael King, you're going to realise, like, that these 2 players are just in completely different stratospheres. The intakes just made me sad. We knew it wasn't going to be good. This is worse than I imagined. Now, since we played Croydon and won the league, we have played a load of more games. We've beaten Whitehawk, Hamthorne Villa. We did lose against Averley. First time playing the new system in that game. Besides that, though, hoping that in these last few games we can string together a couple of results. And I have just remembered there's one other player that we've signed that I haven't yet talked about. We actually signed him midway through last month. He is a man who you might have spotted on the tactics screen thinking, who is this geezer? Lloyd Afori Mantiu? We'll call him Lom, I think for short. Ghanaian centre defensive mid / centre mid. He is absolutely phenomenal. As soon as I got the budgets, I thought, let's go and see what's out there in terms of real quality that we could sign. He's 20. He's great defensively. He is formerly of Norwich's academy, and he was playing for Brentwood Town in the league above us and actually playing quite a lot for them. I've signed him for £6,000, which I think is a new club record transfer. Can you guess what I want to do with him? Yeah, that's right. I'm training him to play at centre-back. Now, annoyingly, there's actually no way for me to highlight his ability as a centre-back on this screen, is there? Because FM26 things. But actually, if I go to this screen here and just select centre-back, you can see some of the key attributes for a centre-back. And for a player at our level, anything above a 10 is top draw. And he literally ticks all the boxes. We're going to use this next month or so to experiment. Probably going to use it to see if I can find some more bargains from teams around us and also youngsters being released. And I guess to wrap things up, I'm going to go away, I'm going to play the final 3 league games, and we'll have a better picture of what to expect going into a transfer special tomorrow. Well, it is officially the end of the 26-27 season. Apparently a season where we met our expectations. I'd like to think we surpassed them just a little bit. Next year, we are going to be playing it in the Enterprise National South, a division that, well, this team won a couple of decades ago now. And I don't want to say it too loudly, but based off the transfers we've done so far, I kind of want to try and do that again next year. In terms of the performance feedback, A-. Feel like that's a little bit harsh, but the main thing that the board are actually pleased with is the squad. The atmosphere is good, managerial support is good. And I'm going to be honest, I think a C+ for our recruitment is very, very harsh. Speaking of that recruitment, Obi, Nyako, Akapo, and Lom have all joined us. I have also made another signing that the board have given an F to. An F for this. I'll let you guys judge this one. This transfer went through 2 days ago, so he's not played for us yet this season, and he won't play until next year. But Michael Reindorf at 22, we have picked up from Dorchester Town. I spent £10,000 on him. Spent the big bucks on this man. He was previously playing for Cardiff City, and before that, Norwich City. And I think he is quality. All I'm saying is our Lord and Saviour is Michael King, and, well, the crown might have a bit of competition. Look at the head-to-head comparison between these two guys. I think this as a strike force could be phenomenal. And I've not even talked about the goatee. Like, that deserves bonus points, surely. I feel like only giving him 3 stars is just harsh from our staff. Yeah, all the signings that we agreed to make, like Akapo, have now arrived. Obviously, Akapo on £450, as we already discussed. I still feel like he's a very good centre-back for this level, even if I am going to tell him to do nothing except defend. I don't really want to discuss how the league season finished. We failed to win any of our last 3 games. A loss against Welling and Ramsgate. Not the best results, although admittedly both these teams were right up towards the top of the table. And in the end, Welling beat Maldon and Tiptree in the playoff final. This is how the league table ended up finishing. Welling in 4th, getting promoted. Maldon and Tiptree were like moulding. And Tiptree, if you're their fans, how have they not got promoted with their team? We've already signed Lom and Reindorf for a combined £17,750. That is massive for a team at our level. Despite all of that, though, here is how the finances are looking heading into the summer. Look at this wage budget. £3,000 to spend, £61,000 in transfer budget as well. We could easily readjust some stuff there. And in terms of the bulk of the first team, I'm really, really happy with where we are at. There's definitely some spots where I think we can improve, but crucially, the vast majority of our first teamers are contracted beyond the end of this year. Oh, and if you did spot a few of these players, like Camis, who have their kind of contract status saying they're expiring, he's actually already agreed a new deal with the club. It just kicks in at the end of the current season. I don't know why there's not a way to see that future contract. I can assure you, his new contract starts on the 1st of July. I just realised we have this really nice new contract screen, don't we? It doesn't actually account for players that are extending their contracts at the end of the year. And just to clarify what I mean by these contracts at the end of the year, when you negotiate with players at this level, one thing that can be very useful to do, especially if you can only offer 1-year deals to your players, is to offer them their deal to start at the end of next season. Just means that you can sometimes get their contract to last a little bit longer, assuming they actually want to sign a proper deal. I wasn't sure if I was going to sign Hutchinson to a new deal, but he wants a pay-as-you-go deal that's quite cheap. I might be able to get him for a lot cheaper than he's already on. I have no idea quite what he's going to ask for here. I mean, £100 and £60 a week is an appearance fee. That's a lot more reasonable than what I was paying him. No idea why he's asking for that much of a wage reduction. Football Manager things. With that in mind, there might be a few other players here that I've not already tabled offers to that I should maybe look to extend for the same reasons. Josh Pask announced that he wanted to explore options, didn't he? Does he want to renew his contract now? No. To be fair, Pask leaving was the whole reason why we've decided to pull the trigger on the Toby Akapo deal so soon. Admittedly, when you compare the two here, I think you could look at it and go, well, Josh Pask is a way better player. Then you realise that Toby literally has 1 for every single set-piece attribute, doesn't know how to cross or finish, But none of that stuff really matters as a centre-back. And when it comes to the stuff that does matter as a centre-back, which for whatever reason you can't actually highlight on this screen, Toby is the better player. We did experiment with the tactic towards the end of the year. As you've already observed, we didn't win in our last 3 games. So there is part of me thinking that we might just have to stick to something a little more reminiscent of what we played last year. It might mean playing King out on the left-hand side, which, I mean, to be fair, as an inside forward, he's pretty well suited. It's just a case of, with Michael Reindorf joining us, and also, I realise Obi and Nyarko have been put in the youth team. They should not be there. But yeah, with these other various new arrivals to the team, I feel like I want to play Chukwuemeka up front and see what he can do. With his jumping reach, he should just be an absolute battering ram. I was basically looking for a way to take this tactic that we've used throughout this year and try and make it work with 2 strikers. Maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. There's part of me wondering if we maybe go to like a 4-4-2. Maybe we could go to a 4-3-3 instead of having that kind of third centre-back. But then 3 at the back has worked very well for us so far. I don't know, there's going to be a few decisions I think to be made in tomorrow's video. Not least of which is going to be trying to work out what squad depth we need to add. There are a lot of these 2-star players at the club that I've not offered contracts to next year, and we are going to need to replace some of them. Now, if at the start of the season you told me Michael King was going to get 31 goals in that episode in the comment section, go back into that video, go brag about it, and I'll pin your comment, because you were correct. Yeah, Michael King, 17 years old, 31 goals in all comps. What a player he's ended up being. In terms of assists, Ryan Bernal led the way. The right wing-back looked absolutely superb. Carl Bennett also had a really, really good season, which was maybe a little bit of a surprise. With respect to him, last year, he was solid. He really levelled up his performance up a notch this season. Ollie Callis definitely deserves his flowers as well. He kept clean sheets in 18 of 38 games, which is a really, really impressive return for the season. Josh Pascu's leaving us annoyingly did have actually a really good year. There is still a world where I might try and convince him to stay, but I am just a bit miffed off that he told me at the start of the season he wanted to leave, and I kind of just want to hold the grudge. And I know that every episode this season I've bigged them up as a pair, but Gibbard and Pierre at centre mid have been top draw for us this year. They have really contributed a lot. I feel like in Football Manager, centre-back mids just don't really get the best of ratings in general. These are 2 players who have justified the wages that we've gave them. They really were little difference makers for us. Looking at the club's overall balance, the finances levelled off the back, of course, of the FA Cup run, but over $500,000 in the bank at this level is superb. Obviously, the wage budget has doubled compared to what we were spending this year, so I do suspect we're going to be making a little bit more of a loss next year. We are poised, I feel like, to try and take the National South by storm. And I suppose that's reflected by the fact that the board's minimum expectation for next season is to reach the top half, which, I'll admit, that's not the most lofty of goals, but I do feel like that is a real kind of indicator that the team we have this year was simply too good for the level of football we've been playing at. That said, there is always room for improvement. We have money to spend and money to burn. There is going to be transfers needed next time out. It's going to be a massive transfer special to end the week. Really hope you guys are excited for it. If you have enjoyed today's video and the season, go down below, show it some love in the algorithm. I'll be back tomorrow to end the week with a fun one. A transfer special awaits. I'll see you next time for more. I'm out.